Welcome back to Right Answers Mostly, a podcast on what you didn't learn in history class but really wanted to. My name is Tess Palomo.
My name's Claire Donald.
And you guys, we just want to get an announcement out of the way.
We're super excited about it. It's honestly been a long time coming, something that we've been really thinking about for a while.
Yes, and we understand that this might be met with a little trepidation. Is that the right word?
I don't even know what that means,
either.
but I assume yes.
Just people might feel you might feel a little confused and frustrated.
Well, because y'all know how much change is hard for Tess and me.
Yes.
So.
But also that we just do, have so many interests and we do have so many directions that we've always wanted to experiment with our work and this podcast.
So for next month, we will be transitioning Right Answers Mostly from a history podcast to a lifestyle wellness podcast.
Yes. And the reason why we're doing that is just because we feel like there's so much to be discussed in our tone and there's just the space that's missing for health and wellness podcasts, which is kind of toxic. And we want to break that down and give you guys something else.
Yeah. And as I'm approaching my 30s, that we're in our 30s now, we just feel like this space is so important for us. It's important to learn more about our bodies and what benefits us and our mental health. And I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too.
We'll miss history, but history will always be there.
Yeah, and we were kind of running out of things to talk about. This is going to be our last historical episode today.
Exactly. And it's been a good time.
April Fools! Do you hate us?
I couldn't look at you in the face when I was doing it. Guys, I'm so sorry. I was thinking about the people, if I listened, I would be so pissed at us right now.
Guys, I'm sorry, but you know how much I love April Fools.
She's a prankster.
I am a prankster. We had to do something that was shocking.
Shocking.
And a little scary.
And you guys know we'd also never do a health and wellness podcast. Also, I was about to laugh and you're like, there's just a missing space in that market for two white women in their 30s.
Talking about fucking cleanses and grams of protein. Guys, with love and light, that is never going to be us.
Absolutely not.
And we have so much more history.
We have endless amounts of history. We will never leave this space.
No.
And we are so happy to be here. We were trying to figure out what would be a good April Fool's joke for you guys. And everything we said, I was I don't even want to put it out in the universe.
I know, because I was let's just say we're ending the podcast, which is so cruel. And I'm sorry that I really would not have done that to you guys. It was just my first.
That's never going to happen.
It was just my first instinct. Then Claire was let's say we're having Trump on. Yeah. And that's even a tough thing to put out in the universe.
I know, I was I don't even want to say bleep his name next. Fuck him. Yeah, but we just had to be a little playful with you guys.
Sorry. It was funny for us.
Yeah, it really was. Comment on our Instagram at Right Answers Mostly if we gotcha and what you thought.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But we are excited to be back with another episode of our historical podcast.
We sure are. We wanted to make a quick announcement that in our show notes, there is something very exciting for you to go check out. We're also going to be posting it on social media.
And this is not a joke. This is for real, for real.
I swear, pinky promise. Look at, if you're watching us on YouTube.
Crosses don't count also because you can't say crosses or no crosses count as a kid because people would say, no, crosses count.
Oh my God, I've never heard this
so
before.
We'd always have to go. I was with some really manipulative friends in middle school.
That was me. Yeah. It was us.
It was us. It's so true. But a very exciting announcement for our premium subscription, which is in our show notes. It used to be called Patreon. We're just calling it our premium subscription now. You can join for 2 bonus episodes a month for $7.99. And we announced, say it, Tess, a very special guest. Don't say who it is.
I was oh my God.
Sorry, I just bulldozed over you. So I was hand the mic back to her. My God.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
I'm so sorry. I've just completely hijacked this podcast. I'm so sorry.
We do have a very special announcement of one of our most exciting guests. So that will be on there. Basically, with this premium service is that you don't have to download another app.
Nope.
You don't have to do much. For $7.99 a month, 2 bonus episodes go directly, whether you are listening on Spotify or Apple, goes directly into your feed. So when you get that new extra episode just pops up right with our main
Right there.
feed.
You don't have to go anywhere, and you get all of the whole catalog of our bonus episodes. Like they didn't go anywhere either. So
Exactly. So you got them all. We know that you miss us
Yep.
every week when we're not back. This is a great way too when we do a re-release once in a blue moon to be like, I want to listen to fresh content. We talk about celebrity gossip, our personal lives.
that's right.
Our personal lives.
Things are happening right now.
Things are cooking.
I mean, I am a single girl after all.
She is a single lady
single
in the
gal.
city of angels. And you can put those two together.
That's right. That's right. Or just, join our premium subscription. Everyone who's listening right now shaking in their boots.
They're like, okay, let's just
okay, we'll go. But anyways, guys, hello.
Hello.
Excited to be back at Spotify as always.
Yes, we were just talking about how nice it is to come into an office once or twice a week. The community here is so lovely. Shout out to Kevin. Kevin, are you listening?
Kevin, are you listening? Because you are a king.
And to Sam.
Of course, our tech kings.
Our tech kings. We just literally texted Kevin. He set us up and everything. And we literally just texted him 2 seconds after he left the room saying, Kevin, we're already having a technical difficulty.
He just walks back in and be like, what's going on, girls?
We keep them young, I think.
We keep them on their toes.
But any updates, Claire? Any thoughts, feelings, life updates?
I don't think so. We're in your birth month, which is very exciting.
Oh,
Taurus season is upon us.
It is upon us.
I'm not quite yet. We're still in the Aries, but
That's true. Which
excited.
we appreciate too.
Yep, excited to celebrate. You can also find out on those bonus episodes what Tess's birthday theme is going to be.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
It's going to be really good.
It's gonna be good. I almost dropped way too much money last night on something that I'll talk about on Patreon.
That Taurus energy.
That Taurus energy.
Yeah.
You guys know how it goes.
So my family's coming in town this month, and that'll be a good time. Can't wait. And I think
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a dumb sentence, but I think that's about it. Anything exciting for you?
Going to Vegas.
Oh my God, your outfit.
Oh no. Yeah, I'll be going to Vegas at the end of the week that this is out. I got a great outfit from Nasty Gal.
God, the skirt is skirting.
I have to say, we do try to limit our fast fashion. Claire and I have had this discussion before on the podcast of just everything in life can't be 100%.
Yeah.
We try, but we live in a capitalist society and it's just not going to happen.
It is what it is.
So I went to Nasty Gal and got this really cool chain see-through long maxi skirt that's sparkly and
Didn't Paige wear a similar one on Summer House Reunion?
Oh yeah, she did.
Very hot.
And I'm gonna do it with a white tank, and it's just such good quality, and I'm just so excited, and I'm wearing little cheeky.
Not an ad.
Not an ad, but
It could be.
always.
Call us.
So yeah, excited for Vegas. Excited to get a spray tan and just
Live it up.
live it up always.
Yeah.
So that's really it. That's all I'm kind of thinking about.
Are you going to gamble?
I always go to the penny slots.
Okay.
And I try to go to the Sex and the City penny slot, which is really fun. And then I like to play a game of blackjack for $20. And then I immediately lose my money. And I talk about how I shouldn't have done it for the next 2 hours. And that's always my journey.
But did you only lose $20?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I know, but when you just it takes me a while to get into the Vegas mentality of why do I just blow $20?
Yeah.
Even though it's fun, but this is what happens every time.
Yeah, I actually last time that we were there together, I won $50.
You had good luck there. I feel.
Then I'm actually I think pretty good at being call it.
Nice. See, I chase something.
Well, it's only $20 too.
That's true. That's true.
If someone wants to give us
half a drink,
yeah, and free in Vegas.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So
it all
fun.
works out.
Yeah,
we're driving.
That sucks. But you're not driving.
I'm not driving.
Yeah, so
my baby's driving.
You're being passenger princess,
of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, flights were just flights were expensive,
Get
and
it
it's
together.
4 hours, which we've been doing a lot of San Francisco road trips, which is more 6. So I feel it's not going to feel too bad.
Just ever since our hangover drive back from San Diego, I'm a little scared and scarred. But
God,
you were such a hero when you were driving us back. We went on a girls' trip, and the next day when we were driving back, it was also rainy. It was horrible.
I was shaking, but
I was also shaking.
Everyone was shaking in a different way. You just have to be don't think about, just get us there.
Just drive.
Get us
shut
home.
up and drive.
Yeah.
Tess, what are we talking about today?
So guys, today it really took me. It tickled me when one of our Rammies.
Well, we said no tickling.
No
anymore.
tickling. It emotionally tickled me when one of our Rammies wrote in and they said, "Guys, ladies, have you ever considered covering the Chippendales murders?"
I'm interested.
And I said, "What the hell is that?" And then I looked it up and I was like, "This is going to be so crazy. We have to cover it."
I can't wait.
What's your experience like with Chippendales, Claire?
Well, Funny ass, Tess.
Yeah.
We went on a that same Vegas trip. We were on a bachelorette trip, and we went. It was Chippendales, right? It wasn't Magic Mike. I think it was Chippendales.
It was Chippendales.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was. And I had one of those Chippendales come on over, and I did a little dance for him.
He liked what he saw.
And then if you are a premium subscription person, you're on our close friends on Instagram, and I'll stop talking about this, but I will post the video. I'll post it on close friends.
You look really hot.
Oh,
Your hair
thanks.
looked great.
Thank you.
I like when you do like the straight. You haven't done that for a while.
I'll do it. I'll try it.
I really love
the
it.
Dyson Airwrap, I've just been doing blowouts.
No, I know.
But I do a little dance on him.
Uh-huh.
And then I embrace the topless Chippendales man. The embrace kills me every time.
The embrace, I was like, that was so like unexpected
We had
and
such
like
a connection.
unnecessary.
No, but I feel like we had a connection that
Yeah,
we were
you
like,
did.
hey.
I think he was like, thank you for like allowing me, and you were like, thank you for choosing me.
I that's exactly what it was. So I have honestly like nothing but fond memories of Chippendales. I believe my grandma went to Chippendales with some of her best friends one time too.
I have nothing but that's the only time I've been to a Chippendales show as well. And I just remember being like, I never want this night to end.
Same. Well, no kidding. I mean, it is like wild the things that you see.
It just feels like a feminist like revolution in there.
Does because it's like finally we get ours, you know?
With feeling safe and like
Yes.
celebrating, and they're trying to make you feel really good. And it's just like a nice experience.
It is truly girl power,
It is girl power.
and I would recommend it to anyone.
Same.
It was such a good time.
Yeah, and like it's safe and sexy, I'd say.
We love safe and sexy.
You know?
Yeah.
But it hasn't always been safe and sexy, Claire.
Oh God.
It hasn't always been at all.
Okay.
Starting out with my sources,
Of course.
we have allthat'sinteresting.com,
Huh.
which this story is interesting.
Okay.
We're not even going to give that
No.
person.
We'll never
I'm
see
never
them again.
never going to go on that website again, but it was thank you for your service. And L.com.
L.
I have my thoughts about L.com.
Give it to me.
I said, L.com is like your mom's really chic friend from college who you see once every few years when she visits from Paris. She brings you really expensive, unethical face creams that are not FDA approved in the States and is always on the Whole30 diet.
Phenomenal. She's done the work, people. That is L.com. So she's like not our blood aunt, but our aunt because it's your mom's college best friend.
Auntie, yes, that you're just like, you're a
Auntie.
little toxic, but I want to be you. You're really beautiful.
She must smell
but, like,
so good and fresh.
So good and fresh, but like she's always just eating like salmon and like,
course.
you know, you're just like
And almonds.
and almonds and like a martini, and you're just like live it up a little bit too.
Yeah, but she won't.
But she won't.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that.
Thank you.
Welcome to the family, L.
Welcome to the family, L. And then I'll let you take this one, Claire. Maybe
Okay.
we've done this one before. Time magazine.
Time?
Have we done Time?
I don't think we've done Time. I think of Time magazine as like a grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
like a very like smart old grandpa.
That is literally what I put.
It is? Oh my
Yes. I was like, it's like an old grandpa or like older figure with like big sweaters.
Yes.
A beard.
Of course. I can also see like a green pattern blazer sort of thing. Like he kind of looks like the grandpa from The Parent Trap. And he smells of tobacco
and
peppermint. Time magazine smells of tobacco and peppermint.
Wow, wow, you just like put me there.
Wow.
You put me there.
Hey, I love our family.
I love our family too, these crazy, crazy kids. So, Chippendales is best known for its muscular male dancers, exuberant crowds of women, and dynamic shows. But the Chippendales Murders proved that the lighthearted franchise had a dark side.
God.
Dun dun dun.
I forget that there's murder in this.
There's murder on the dance floor.
And you better not kill the groom.
Oh, was it mood?
Always tough when you say something and then you just like look at each other
you're just
like,
well, fuck. There's no going back.
no, there's not.
So, Claire, who started Chippendales? Who was the founder? Who got this all started? Do you imagine that it is a man or a woman?
A man.
It's a man.
Yeah.
So this guy named Saumin, who later goes by Steve Banjeree, he was an Indian immigrant born in Mumbai, India, on October 8th, 1946.
A Libra.
He's a Libra,
He's
just like my boo,
yeah.
just like my Indian boo.
Literally, I was like, wow. Canal.
This is a story of Canal.
His origin story.
He moved to the United States initially to operate a mobile gas station. And then afterwards, a failed Backgammon Club. Do you know what backgammon is?
I have a backgammon board. There's a backgammon club in Venice.
I had never heard of this game, and it was showing up everywhere. There's so much
You've never heard of it?
I knew. Once I saw the board, I was like, oh, that's what it is. I never knew it was called backgammon.
I don't know how to play it either, but like the youth is playing it. It's like the new pickleball.
The youth is playing it. There's so much crossover between this and Chippendales, which I was like, everyone involved in Chippendales in some way was involved in backgammon.
What?
I was like, why?
Why?
I don't know. I just don't know.
It's a very strange Venn diagram.
It is.
Yeah.
So then in 1975, he's in the States, and he bought a struggling Los Angeles bar called Destiny 2, which turned into initially a female mud wrestling club.
Oh my God. The bros are like, oh yeah.
The bros are like, holy shit. Very like 70s, you know.
Of course.
And then later it turned into a female exotic dancing night.
Got it.
And then finally he was like, wait a minute. There's something here.
Mm-hmm.
There's something here. And I would not say that this man is like a feminist. Like, we have to have a place for women. But I think he was just thinking of money. And he was like, women are horny too.
Of course.
And
I just appreciate him recognizing that.
We appreciate a man that knows that women need to get theirs.
Get theirs. Yeah.
Right? Ladies, am I right?
Ladies, am I right?
So he finally renamed it Chippendales.
Where did that name come from?
I have no idea.
Huh.
Chippendales.
I mean, those are the names of the little like chipmunks.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything about like where that came from. And so he's like, it's going to be Chippendales. It's going to be like a kind of female strip club. The men are going to be hot and like it's going to be sexy, but it's also going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was like his like first idea, which is essentially what it is now. So Steve, we're going to call him Steve because even though his original name was Salmon, he like went by Steve, and in all the articles it was Steve. He was soft-spoken. And
it's always the quiet ones.
It's always the quiet ones. You're just like, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
But he really wanted Chippendales to be like the opposite of him. He wanted it to be like loud and fun and just like very like exuberant and dramatic and theatrical.
Yeah.
He took the advice of doing this through this guy, which it always goes back to past Ram episodes, named Paul Snider. He later shot and killed his wife and Playboy bunny model Dorothy Stratton in 1980 before killing himself.
Wait, I think that I've heard about like the Dorothy Stratton, the murder of that, because she was like a playmate that was like really well known.
She was
right?
a famous playmate, and he killed her, and then took the gun to himself.
Oh my God! Check out our Playboy episode.
Please do. And so he was the one to be like, let's start I'm going to help you kind of cultivate this male exotic dance night for ladies only.
So the murderer said that.
Paul Snider, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said this. Funny enough, Dorothy, who was murdered, was the one who suggested that the shirtless Chippendales dancers wear bow tie collars and tufts as a nod to the Playboy bunny. She was like, what if like the men were wearing something similar?
Cute.
And they've actually gone through like a whole legal battle with that.
I could see why.
But she was the one who had that idea. May she
rest in peace.
May she rest in peace. Because so Paul had seen some like gay dance show, and he was like, we should just like replicate this essentially, but like make it more towards
the
straight
female gaze.
Yes, exactly. So Eric Gilbert, who was the former creative director of Playboy, made the case that Hugh Hefner deserves credit for Chippendale's success.
I think we're good without it, you know?
I think it's like, who cares?
Just
it's
like
cuffs and a collar.
Yes, you're going to give like full credit for the whole thing? My God.
I know. It's stupid. But so that's always just been a back and forth thing. It's
Yeah.
like kind of like tension between them, which I think is funny.
Mm-hmm.
So Steve recalls, at first, all the guys were worried about their image. But the show delighted female customers who soon lined up to get in. And then all of a sudden, every actor in LA, every dancer was like, wait, I want to audition for Chippendales. So it was like kind of like reputable after a short amount of time. And people were like, this isn't just some stupid thing.
It's like a great part-time job. You don't have to be a waiter. You can like have women screaming for you.
Imagine doing this in the 80s. Like they probably were all doing like so many drugs before they went
So
on.
much coke. Holy shit.
The cocaine was probably flying.
Yeah, no kidding.
Flying around. And there is a woman who's involved too in like the origin story and success. One of the former associate producers, her name is Candace Mayerin. We will hear her name.
Okay.
So she's for the girlies. She says it was the first time ever something was completely geared to the ladies. We built an environment for women just to let it all hang out.
We needed it.
We needed it.
We need it today.
We need it right now.
We do. Bring them in.
Yeah.
Bring in the Chippendales.
However, it wasn't all bachelorette parties and games, Claire.
Never is.
It never is. Little Steve really had some darkness and competitive qualities.
Was Steve, if we don't know, we don't know. But would he identify as a straight man?
I don't know.
Okay.
If I were to analyze based on everything, I feel like he was like maybe in the closet.
Yeah.
Is what I think. But
Okay.
I'm not sure about his love life or
Right.
extracurricular activities.
I understand.
So I said he was very competitive. Is that a Libra quality to be competitive?
No, because usually Libras like really avoid conflict.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, Tom Schwartz is so much Libra. That's why he is the way he is.
You are so right.
Yeah.
Well, Steve was not like that. So in 1979, he quietly sent someone to burn down Moody's Disco, a rival nightclub.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And then once again in 1984, he tried to do the same at the Red Onion restaurant and bar that he felt was like coming in on his business.
Oh my God. Do you know that if he was like, do it while there are no patrons there, he's like, fuck it.
I don't think it killed anybody.
Okay,
I think he
good.
like did it overnight or something.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, just like be a better business person then.
Well, it's like also Red Onion restaurant and bar. Like, what is the crossover with Chippendales?
He's like, I honestly just hate that place. So
yeah,
take it out.
He's like, I don't like their lobster.
Yeah, burn it to the ground.
Burn it to the ground. So he doesn't get caught. No one like connects. It's called arson. Is that? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No one connects him to it. But Steve is like, you know what? We're doing so well in LA. Chippendales is taking off. Where else should we go? So they're like, let's go to New York City, baby.
That's such a good. I would have guessed Miami.
Well, they also opened up initially in Dallas and Denver. And
Dallas. All the church ladies are like, amen.
I mean, I think they're like, there's a market there. Talk about a missing space.
No kidding. Talk about some sexual frustration.
Literally, we love some pent up sexual energy. And then 3 touring troops started around the U.S. and Europe.
Wow.
Which is crazy. But back to New York, because this is where shit starts to really hit the fan.
Okay.
So Chippendales is blowing up just like immediately in the 80s. They are a cultural phenomenon that spawned sexy calendars, appearances on Phil Donahue, and even SNL spoofs. So immediately people are like, it's a thing.
It's in the culture.
It's in the culture.
I bet everyone was like in the 80s, like so tan.
So tan.
And so jacked.
Were there tanning beds in the 80s?
I think so.
Okay, I'm like, when did that
I
start?
think that's like when it was probably like really getting down to it. And if not, then they were just like oiling up and going directly in the sun with the reflectors.
Doing the reflector. I think my mom said she remembers doing the reflectors.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've all put a little tanning oil on our bodies at some point.
We have.
I didn't know that was a thing when I was in, early high school.
The banana boat spray on.
I was allowed to like once a year.
I mean, I always was like SPF 5.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what's the point of that?
Oh, now I regret it all.
I know.
Kids, wear your sunscreen. It's just
SPF.
that's what spray tans are for.
Exactly.
So we're in New York. Steve is like, business is booming. And he starts working with this New York-based producer and choreographer, Nick DeNoia, to expand the Chippendales business. So Nick is like, he's the man.
Okay.
Like if Steve's like the boss and Nick is like the cool new guy who's involved. Everyone's looking at him. He was attractive. Someone describes him as like one of their first times that they came to Chippendales. And he asked one of the waiters, who is this genius behind all of this? He pointed to a very attractive silver-haired man standing in the back of the room. It was Nick DeNoia. So
Steve's like, okay.
So Steve's like, well, like I'm an immigrant. I'm
Burn
trying
to
to
the
like.
ground.
I mean, well. Done. So there's already this rivalry because Nick is, charismatic. Also, all the Chippendale dancers feel like a kinship towards him. Like they like go to him with problems, and he's part of the community. And Steve is like an outcast because he's like weird and like no one likes him.
Steve's like the money, and then what's his name? Nick. It's like the face and the heart.
Exactly.
I was also wondering. I was like, who's the choreographer for all this?
Nick is the one who like really just got it going with like just like perfecting these because like the dancing was impressive.
Yeah.
It's not like they're just up there like shaking their little asses.
No, they're not just up there shaking that thing, but they are like moving it.
It's like it's raining men and they're doing like umbrellas. Also, like the talent that it takes to like never let it slip, because they're sometimes what appears to be fully nude, but they never show.
It's crazy. You're just like, what is this magic that I'm seeing and not seeing?
Yeah. And you like really, you're like, wow, they have to not have like anything on, but they definitely have like a sock or something.
They must have like something. God, it is art.
It is art. It's crazy. So thank you, Nick, for doing that. So they're butting heads. And according to Red Scott, a Chippendales dancer, he says that Nick and Steve used to go toe to toe and just scream and curse at each other.
Oh my God.
Steve envied Nick's creativity and charisma. He also resented that people had started referring to Nick, and not Steve, as Mr. Chippendales. And though he and Nick had made a deal on a napkin.
Oh, sweetheart.
Before DocuSign.
Yeah, no kidding.
That gave Nick 50% of the profits.
50? Wow.
Which is a lot. From the Chippendales tours, Steve began to suspect that Nick was shortchanging him.
Huh. Wasn't Steve the one like handling the money?
Yeah, but I don't think he's like that bright.
Which is crazy.
You're not that pretty.
And you're not that bright.
Like, truly.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Steve has another episode. And this time, on April 7th, 1987, a gunman walked into Nick's 15th floor New York office and shot him in the left cheek.
Face cheek?
Face cheek. Nick died, and many of the Chippendales suspected that they knew who was behind the hit.
Steve, like, come on.
I mean, it's out of control. Like, he just killed, like, and it's like one of his friends.
No kidding. Like, someone that you do owe a lot of credit to.
Exactly. So,
oh my God, just like take him out. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, truly. So all the dancers were like, we know, like all of them knew who did it. They were like, it had to be Steve.
That's terrifying.
One of the dancers told Candace, our woman in charge, I'm going to kill that motherfucker, Steve Banjeree, that they overheard. That one of the dancers said, I'm going to kill that motherfucker, Steve Banjeree. And so Candace was like, oh, you guys think everyone thinks that he did it? And all the dancers were like, yeah, do you? And she was like, you know what? There's no doubt in my mind that he did it. So Candace also was like, we all know his temper, his mental instability. We think he did it too.
Was there like any police investigation of, well, I mean, there had to be obviously foul play, like that someone was murdered.
Yeah. So Candace is talking to the cops and she's like, wait a second. Like, I think I was on the phone with him right before it happened. She said, I was on the phone with Nick talking about contracts, talking about the road show. And suddenly he goes, I gotta go. Click, hangs up on me. The timing is quite right. I have to think that in that moment, he saw somebody walk into the office with a gun in his hand. So she truly thinks she talked to him his last moments before he died.
That's awful.
I know.
Oh, that's awful.
I know. So indeed, Steve had orchestrated Nick's murder. The FBI eventually pieced together that Steve had hired a hitman.
Oh, this was the case for the FBI.
This is a case for the FBI.
Okay.
Kris Jenner. Named Ray Collin to kill Nick. Collin, in return, enlisted the services of Gilberto Rivera Lopez. So it was like a hitman hired a hitman. So now Steve is like even further removed from it.
Smart. Mm-hmm. Did he plan that or did the hitman plan that?
I'm like, how does
a hit?
What's hitman culture?
Yeah. Let us know, hitman.
I guess. Yeah, because I'm like, if someone pays you and then you're like, I don't want to do it, then you pay them.
Off. Yeah,
so maybe he just decided to.
God.
I mean, like, once again, I don't think Steve is like that smart to even like fully remove himself. Nothing was linked to Steve. He remained free, and he even bought back the Chippendales touring rights from Nick's family.
Oh, that's so gross.
I know. That's like disgusting. It's like grosser than killing him.
No,
like that part, I was just like, you're a terrible person.
You're so slimy.
No,
oh my God.
I mean, murdering him is the worst. But, but let's all say it together.
Trash, 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 not for us.
Yeah, we don't like him.
No, obviously.
So Steve's like, I just need to ruthlessly protect this franchise that I built. I should have never even involved Nick. So he's like, in his head, he's saying like, it's fine.
Okay. So we have a chip missing in Steve's head.
A Chippendales missing.
Oh, clever. Got him.
In 1991, Steve hired Collin again.
Oh, God. For who?
This time, Steve wanted him to go to England and kill a number of former Chippendales employees who had left Chippendales for a rival troop called Adonis.
Oh my God. Oh, you're so
Ooh.
angry.
So angry and so dramatic.
Sorry that they are going to have another job opportunity. Just hire some more hot men.
Also, you are flourishing. This isn't
Yes.
no one has taken anything from you. It's a successful, lucrative business.
Yeah.
You are the founder. Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. So just like with the murder of Nick, once again, this Ray Collin guy enlisted a hitman to get it done. Another guy. Some guy known as Strawberry is really what he refers to.
Okay.
I'm like, what would your hitman name be?
The Lonesome Cowboy.
Ooh, that's good. It's back to your roots.
What would yours be?
It'd be
It's kind of a long one for me, but
how do you keep it?
LC for short.
Short and sweet.
Cha Cha Cherry.
Cha Cha Cherry 278. My close friend's original.
AM.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect, Claire. So Strawberry gets cold feet.
Okay.
And decides to reach out to the FBI. So he explained to the agents that Ray had given him cyanide, a list of names, and instructions to go to England. And he was like, "Now I'm too scared."
Oh my
He's
God.
like, "This is crazy." So FBI Special Agent Scott Guerrilla.
Okay. Got it.
Guerrilla, who started investigating the Chippendale murders, was like, any agent, whether you're straight out of the academy or whether you're a 25-year-old agent, this is the kind of case you want to get involved in.
He's like, hot men.
Yeah, he was like, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
He said, not only do we have this conspiracy to kill people over in London, but we had a murder that actually occurred in New York in 1987. We have 2 arsons that now we have to investigate because this man is not trustworthy. And this conspiracy extended from the mid-70s all the way up to 91. So people were just like, Steve Banjeree needs to get caught.
Yes, yeah. So people are knowing that he's doing shady shit.
Yes, which is just always the crazy thing when we talk about these murderers and people you just need to get evidence before anything, and there's just no real evidence yet.
Well, I'm sure also the FBI though was like, this is a dream case because the hitman man literally just came to us and told us who hired him. This is
thank you so
yeah,
much.
it's so much easier than a lot of.
That's very true. So the FBI searched Ray Collin's house and indeed found enough cyanide to kill 230 people. Cyanide's just poison, right?
Yeah, I think cyanide is what they drank at Jonestown in the Kool-Aid. I think it was laced with cyanide, which it's also an awful, awful death. Your body just slowly starts shutting down. No, it's not at all. You are just being tortured to kill 200 people.
That's too much cyanide.
That's too much cyanide. Oh my God.
And then Ray Collin, who was arrested and was stewing in jail for 7 months, finally agreed to help authorities solve the Chippendales murder. So Ray's like, all right, I'm also in trouble. Might as well just
Well, could he get some immunity from it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So over the next few months, the FBI tried to use Ray to get Steve to confess on tape. But Steve proved very difficult, actually, in this to pin down, which, he kind of seems dumb, but he's kind of smart in this.
Smarter
because,
than you think.
It's you're mostly the FBI would wire you, or what's it called?
Yeah, wire.
Wire.
Yeah.
So they're like, go to IHOP, okay?
Huh?
Which I'm like, it does always happen in IHOP, I feel.
Something else happened at IHOP, I feel on RAM, but I can't think of it. But shit goes down on IHOP.
There's darkness to an IHOP. I've also only had IHOP twice in my life, and it did not sit well with me.
Oh, well, that's probably not surprising. But I would go for some pancakes right now.
Pancakes do sound good.
They sound so good.
So Ray and Steve, they're like, okay, go to IHOP on June 23rd in 1992. And Steve refused to say anything out loud. He was like, I'm not going to risk this.
Yeah.
So when Ray would ask him questions, Steve only wrote down his answers on Post-it notes. Then he tore up the notes and threw them in the toilet, flushing them down the drain. So he was like, you're not going to catch me.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Crazy.
He probably is like, I can't. Everyone's wired now.
Exactly. Imagine us in this situation. We'd be like, okay, so first I burned a couple places down.
No discretion at all.
Just yelling it in a public place.
Literally. Yeah, seriously.
Steve even demanded that Ray strip down.
Oh.
Oh.
It's like, gonna do a little dance.
Exactly. To prove that he didn't have a wiretap. Ray did. I'm like, something happened in that IHOP bathroom, I think. That's my conspiracy theory.
It's like, give me a little kiss.
It's just a little one.
Wow.
Ray did, but he managed to conceal it in the flap of his underwear. So he was wiretapped. So he like hid it, but he still wouldn't say anything. So authorities got nowhere in their investigation.
Wow. How they really hit it.
They really hit it. I'm like, on the in.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah,
that's some strong elastic.
Maybe the way when he was taken off, he like
good for him.
Folded it or something. I don't know. We'll never really know what happened in that IHOP bathroom.
Yeah, no, we never will.
But some things are best left
unsaid.
So the FBI is like, well, we need to try again. They had Ray convince Steve that he was a fugitive on the run.
Who's Ray again?
Ray is
the hitman?
Ray's the original hitman
who
then hired like that other guy and then hired Strawberry.
Yes,
so he was always like the OG.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. There's so many names here. So they were like, Ray, why don't you say that you're a fugitive on the run? Okay. And then Steve is going to be like, I need to help you. You guys will come together, whatever idea. So, but Steve actually bought the story and he agreed to meet Ray in Zurich, Switzerland. This time with agents listening through a wall. Steve was more forthcoming. We can hear Steve confess to his complicity in hiring Ray for the murder of Nick. They talk about the attempted murders of Reed Scott and other dancers. We were able to get all the evidence they needed. So they literally were just like listening through a wall. And then Steve's like, I'm going to say everything. We're in Switzerland.
That's great. Do they have to record that? I wonder. Because like then couldn't it just be hearsay?
Yeah, they probably have to record.
But I don't know, actually. Also, to go all the way to Switzerland, that's crazy.
And I think like that's why they were like, okay, if it's in another country, like, and he thinks that you're, you know, like.
They're like, he's like, they wouldn't go to these lengths.
Exactly.
To try to catch me.
Exactly. So in September 1993, the FBI arrested Steve. He was charged with hiring a hitman to kill the former dancers, with Nick de Noya's murder, and with violating the federal Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act through murder, murder for hire, solicitation to commit murder, and arson. So they finally like traced everything back to the original fires and everything. And he faced 26 years in prison.
26 years? Well, how old was he at this point?
He was, let's see. This was 1994, and he was born in 1946.
So he's probably like in his 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wow, that was the quickest we've ever done
wow,
that.
guys, are we? Oh my God, we should have said we were making a math podcast,
Yes.
math and science.
Instead of health and wellness, like we're going to challenge ourselves and make this a math and science podcast.
Also, once again, so sorry we did that.
Yeah,
but
we had to.
We had to. Felt like a fever dream.
Yeah.
So the day, let's see. So in a shocking twist, immediately in September 1993, Steve actually hung himself in the prison cell, having allegedly said that he'd leave the country or kill himself rather than going to prison.
Oh, God. Steve, that's, awful.
I know.
It's...
You really did fuck everything up for yourselves. Like, you could have just been this, like, rich guy that had the legacy of Chippendales that was, like, harmless and...
It's so crazy, like, the darkness behind it, but also, like, not surprising at all.
I know. He was a really weird dude.
Does he look weird?
He looks he looks a little like a loner.
Okay, well, and that he was.
And shockingly, he was only worth $4 to $5 million when he died.
In the 90s?
Yeah, in the 90s, which, like, that's not little amount of money, but I kind of just, like, assumed that he was, like, but I guess they'd only been really doing it for, like, a decade at that point.
Yeah, and it hadn't, like, gone as big as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But, yeah. But Chippendales is still around today.
Sure is, guys.
The company produces Broadway-style burlesque shows worldwide and licenses its intellectual property for select customer products ranging from apparel to accessories to slot machines. The Chippendales perform at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas now. They have almost...
Oh, yeah, it is the Rio. Yeah, that I remember walking in there and being like, man, I'm glad we're staying at the Cosmo and not the Rio.
We do love the Cosmo.
Yeah, the Rio is like... It's a little tough.
It's a different vibe there.
Yeah.
They have almost 200,000 followers on Instagram, and tickets to go see Chippendales is about $90 a person.
Oh, is it that much?
Mm-hmm. I remember that I think we paid like 80 maybe.
Hey, it is worth every penny. It is just such a good time.
It is such a good time.
We just had so much fun.
We did. We were cracking up.
Yes, you literally.
You're just like your stomach hurts from laughing,
Yes.
and then you're also just like, wow.
It's so fun.
And that's the Chippendales Murders, kids.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I know.
I wonder where all like who owns Chippendales now and like where it went to.
I don't know who owns it now, actually.
Wow. And then, like, from Chippendales, also, I feel like it's inspired Magic Mike, which is a whole other thing.
Oh, of course.
I haven't seen those movies. I've only seen the first one. Tell me about it.
We watched this. What's the one with Selma Hayek? That's the third one, right?
Yeah, but that one's, like, awful, right?
I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
There's no nudity in it, right?
There's no nudity. The script is so bad. Nothing makes sense. Nothing is like,
what are we doing?
What are we doing? And with Selma Hayek and Channing Tatum, you think there'd be more. It was so bad.
Take it off.
I was shook.
Have you seen the second one?
I did see the second one. I also it's nothing like the first one.
I need to watch the first one again. But is Matt Bomer in the first one?
Matt Bomer is in the first one.
Great.
Alex Pettyfer plays the kid, and he was always a hot thing to me.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that in college and being like, I think I need to explore. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
You're just like, I got to get out there and just
see what's out.
Got to get out there and get laid.
This is what the world has to offer.
It's true, like truly.
Yeah. Is Matthew McConaughey in the second one or in the first one?
No, in the first one,
And
yeah. In
he
the
is.
second one, I think a few of them are in it, but it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just it's not as good as the first one.
Hey, when it hits.
When it hits, it hits.
Oh, wow. Well done, Tess. It's such a fun, not to say light because there was murders,
but it feels like you can sort of make fun of it because it's so crazy.
And R.I.P. to the people who did, in fact,
of course,
not make it till the end.
So they made a show about this on Hulu.
I was going to say there should be a movie or a show or something.
I think there's a. Oh, this right here on Bustle says Steve Banjeree's wife, Irene. Oh, so he was married to a woman. Sold the Chippendales brand prior to her death.
Okay. My God. That's crazy that he was married to someone the whole time and
Yeah, I mean, shocking. So this is what he looked like. Guys, we'll post all of these, but that's the guy who played him in the Hulu show.
Oh.
Also, Nicolette Petz, or what's her name, who's married to...
David Beckham's son? Nicola Petz?
His daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
She played the Playboy Bunny who
Oh my
died, who was
God.
murdered. The show didn't do very well.
That's a shame.
I know, because I was like, this is an interesting idea, but sometimes you just can't get it right.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, kids, that's it for today.
Well done, Tess.
Thank
that was
you.
so fun. I love
fun.
those just crazy pop culture ones.
Yeah, to be honest, guys, I was going to do something very different, and I'm just really trying right now to listen to what is giving me positive energy and what I'm enjoying. And if I'm just sitting there how am I going to talk about this, or I don't want to, then I'm just not going to do it.
No, it's not fun for any of us.
No.
But that was a great time.
I did have fun researching
and
it.
I'm so excited for our guests coming up in April.
Same.
Obviously, if you also love this episode, please share it on your socials. It's huge for us. And tag us at Right Answers Mostly on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes, and thank you to Spotify Studios for having us. As always, we love being here.
We love you, Spotify.
Happy April Fool's
Happy
Day.
April Fools. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Look at that was so fun and short, sweet, and to the point.
Perfect. I wonder how long it was. 1:07. If it started at 1:30 something.
It's this and maybe 45 minutes.
Oh, great.